Member for Clarence. I call the member for Maitland.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. October is Mental Health Month. This month has been held in New South Wales since 2010. And during this month, we see community events to promote mental health. And in my own community of Maitland, last week, a uniting organisation held a day in Maitland Park where I had a presence with my electorate team, and I thank them for that. Various events have also been held in this very building. And this month, we're all encouraged to think about our mental health and well-being. We're all reminded how important good mental health is to our everyday lives, and we're encouraged to seek help when we need it. These are all great messages and very important. They seem very simple to follow until it directly affects you or someone you love. In 2022, we lost over 3,000 individuals to suicide in Australia. And to put that in perspective, it's something in the order of 10 times the road toll. Each of these deaths represent individuals who left someone behind them who loved them. Their partner, their parent, their child, their siblings, their friends. Last week I had the honour to join Minister Rose Jackson from the other place to share the stories of Sally Beavis and Vicky Mendig. Their stories of the people they loved, their stories of their loss. And now their stories are stories of advocacy for change. Vicky lost her husband Peter to suicide in December 2017. She had no warning, he was just a bit stressed out at work. And then just 5 months later, her 19-year-old daughter, Chelsea, who suffered from anxiety and was very close to her dad, also took her own life. Vicky's family went from a family of 6 to a family of 4 in 5 months due to suicide. And there is no doubt that the lack of support that they experienced was a factor in that. Vicky Mendig has started You Matter to put some hope out into the community for people who are suffering and to raise awareness of the suicide and the impact that that has on loved ones. Sally Beavis also shared her story with the Minister. Troy had a story which began in March 2022, and up until that point he had never struggled with his mental health. And this story is especially close to me because I knew Troy and his family and wife Sally and broader family for many years. In fact, probably since one of the first families I met when I moved to Maitland. Despite all her best efforts, the support and love of family and friends, Sally lost her beloved husband to suicide in May 2022. And I have to say that Sally's story is so personally strong for me. She talks about the 1,500 people or so who turned up to Troy's funeral. And Troy was the absolute embodiment of joy, of success, of love, of someone who had made good, who had been an amazing and successful son, a husband, a father. Someone who always put his hand up for other people, who really just was the goods. And I think the power of Sally in her grief and her family's grief to share the story of Troy is so important, because the thing that stood out to me of this story that she told very powerfully to the Minister was Troy talking about feeling like a fraud. Because like all of us, when we're struggling with our mental health, you just keep going. You just keep telling everyone everything's okay. And that disconnect between what is happening for you personally and what is happening in the outside world becomes greater and greater and greater. Troy is an absolute amazing person, and I am so sorry that we lost him from Maitland. And I am so sorry for Sally and her family that they have had to go through this terrible experience. And what I want to say is we will work with you. The conversation with Minister Jackson was very positive, and I think the advocacy of both Vicky and Sally and their lived experience will change for the better the outcomes for people struggling with mental health in our community. We know in Maitland it's a pretty tough time for everyone. At the moment there's a lot of things going on, but if people can just reach out That is the most important thing. And by sharing the stories, as Sally and Vicky have done, we have more hope that that will happen in the future. Thank you.